Welcome to the Canary Cast, the official podcast of the Mr. Canary Company. Before we get rolling, do me a quick favor. Like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. It helps new folks find this podcast. We're glad you're here. This is episode 17, and we're calling it American Manufacturing from Sea to Shining Sea. This 4th of July, the United States of America turns 250 years old. There's a fancy word for it, the semi-quincentennial, but I'm just going to call it America's 250th birthday. And you might be wondering what in the world a little bird feeder company out of Lebanon, Indiana, could possibly have to say about a birthday this big. That's a fair question, but I think you'll see that this little company's light reaches a whole lot farther than one Indiana town. So let me start by bursting a picture you've probably already got in your head. When you think of Mr. Canary, you most likely picture our shop. One building in one town smack in the middle of Indiana. And that's true, but it's only a sliver of the truth. So let me paint the whole picture. And the picture I paint is going to look a lot like the Indiana state flag. It's an undeniable fact that Indiana's state flag is the best one in the whole union. And it just so happens to paint the perfect analogy of how Mr. Canary contributes to this great country of ours. Indiana's flag is navy blue with a single golden torch right in the middle, with beams of light reaching out in every direction, accented with 19 separate stars. The folks who designed the Indiana state flag said that those rays stand for the far-reaching influence of liberty and enlightenment. One flame from one torch, throwing a light a whole lot further than anyone ever thought was possible. Well, that is the image I think everyone should have of Mr. Canary. Our little manufacturing center on Main Street in Lebanon, Indiana, is the torch with its one small but mighty flame. The light we throw out into the wider world spreads out in every direction, clear across the country. Here's something most folks never stop to think about. Before a single Mr. Canary feeder ever gets assembled by our employees here in central Indiana, its parts have already been all over the country. The clear plastic tube, the yellow perch, the vinyl cap, the mesh bags, and the rope that hold the mesh bags closed. The label, the packaging, none of it appears out of thin air. No, it is made by other American workers from states all across this country. Counting our home state, the materials in one Mr. Canary feeder come together from 10 different states. From our shop here in Indiana, the rays of light generated by Mr. Canary's mission reach east to Pennsylvania, to New Jersey, and Rhode Island. They then go south to Virginia, to South Carolina and Georgia, and then they sweep westward to Missouri before turning north to Michigan and Wisconsin. 10 states. Mr. Canary products benefit somebody's mom on a production line in Wisconsin, somebody's neighbor running an extruder in New Jersey, somebody's kid in their first real job down in Virginia. Every one of them has a hand in a Mr. Canary feeder before it even is a feeder. We don't make Mr. Canary by ourselves. Truth be told, America makes Mr. Canary bird feeders. We just have the honor of lighting the flame of liberty and enlightenment that connects it all together. Once one of our American employees with disabilities has finished putting together all those different parts from those 10 different states, that feeder doesn't stay put in Indiana. The Mr. Canary torch throws its light right back out across the country. That same feeder built in Indiana might end up hanging off a porch railing in Maine, or in a kitchen window in California, or along a back fence in Texas, or on a little balcony down in Florida. Coast to coast, sea to shining sea. So picture the whole thing right now. Rays reaching in from 10 states, gathering together everything we need to manufacture our little American-made finch feeders, all put together to make something more impactful than the sum of its parts, which then radiates that light back out to every corner of this country. One of our employees, standing at a workbench in the middle of Indiana, is connected to a grandma somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, watching a goldfinch out her window on a quiet morning. They will probably never meet, but American manufacturing has connected them together, while uplifting a whole host of communities along the way. That is what From Sea to Shining Sea really looks like. It's not just pretty words in an old song. It's people making things, buying things, supporting each other in what they each excel at. If you ask me, that's the truest picture of what a country even is. Not lines on a map, but an interconnected web of people, each one contributing what they have to offer in their own little corner of the world, each one contributing his or her own little light. So, happy 250th birthday, America. 250 years. Now, we're not going to sit here and pretend that our bird feeder company belongs in the history books about the great American experiment. But we are proud to keep our own little torch burning and to throw what light we can as far as it'll reach. We are grateful for the suppliers across this country who make our parts, and we're grateful for their American employees who build them, and grateful for every single one of you who sees the value in buying American. This 4th of July, just know that you are not only creating jobs for Americans with disabilities in Indiana when you buy Mr. Canary. No, you are participating in a little exchange of light that runs clear across this country, from sea to shining sea. Remember, buy a feeder, create a job. Happy 4th of July, and we'll see you next time.